hated morning, not because he was lazy, not because he was careless. He hated morning because they remind him that he worked in a building made of glass, steel, and expectations. A place where they shaped ego. Every mistake was noticed, and every rumor traveled faster than later. He stood in front of the mirror in his apartment, carefully fixing his tie. Again, it slipped. Tehang sighed. Tehang mumbling. Tehang said, I swear if this, he fix it again, slower this time. Checking his reflection, his face looked calm, and it always did. People often said Tehang looked gentle, almost soft. They did not see the effort behind it. They did not see how much control it took to stay that way. He grabbed his bag and left. The company building stood tall in the morning light. Inside, everything was clean, quiet, soft. Tim walked in, greeting people politely. Tang, good morning, implied. Morning, Tehang. Some smiled, some whispered after he passed. He pretended not to notice. That was a skill he learned early. The design floor was already busy. Screen glow, paperware spread, coffee cup lined desk. Namjoon waved from across the room. Hey, Namjoon. Oh, you look light today. That's new. Tehang smiled faintly. Tehang, I slept for hours. I feel powerful. Namjoon laughed. Namjoon, big presentation today. Nervous? Tehang shook his head. Tehang, no, just aware. Namjoon understood what he meant. Everyone did. The CEO would be there. John Jungkook. Tehang set his desk, opening his file. The design were clean, balanced, and thoughtful. He had worked on them for weeks. He had worked on them for weeks. Every line had meaning, every detail had purpose. Designing was easy. He cleaned, checked time. 10 minutes before the presentation, his tie slipped again. Tehun closed his eyes. Tehun, the boardroom was already filling when he entered. Executives took their seat. Assistant moved quietly. The air felt heavy with importance. Tehun stood near the screen, adjusting his notes. Then the room changed. It always did. The door opened. John Jungkook walked in. He did not rush. He nailed it. He wore a dark suit, perfectly fitted. His posture was straight, his face unwavered. Conversation softened as he passed. People watched him with respect. Sometimes fear, sometimes admiration. Jungkook took his seat at the head of the table, his eyes lifted. They leaned on Thang. They always did. For a moment, nothing else excited. Then Jungkook looked away. The room released a breath. He did not realize he was holding. The presentation began. Thang stood tall, voice steady. This design focus on comfort and structure. It is meant to feel modern but familiar. The screen changed. People leaned forward. Tehang spoke clearly, explaining his idea, answering questions with calm confidence. He felt it then. aside. Someone stepped closer, too close, warm behind him. A presence he did not need to see to recognize. Long finger reached out. The room fell silent. Jungkook adjusted down thighs slowly. Careful, his voice light but firm. Jungkook, you should double check this before meeting. His voice was low, controlled. Tongue frozen, his ear burned. I did. Jungkook leaned just a little closer. Jungkook, you missed something? A few people shifted in their seats. Namjoon stared very hard at the table. Jungkook stepped back as if nothing had happened. Jungkook continued, Taehyung solo. He continued, but his heart did not slow down. When the meeting ended, people clapped. Compliments were given. The board members nodded in approval. Jungkook stood. Jungkook, good work. Two words. They felt heavier than usual. Taehyung bowed his head slightly. Taehyung, thank you, sir. Jungkook paused just for a second, then he left. Later that afternoon, Taehyung sat at his desk, staring at his screen. Namjoon rolled his chair closer. Namjoon, you survived? Taehyung, barely. Namjoon, he did it again. Taehyung sighed. Taehyung, he always does. Namjoon lowered her voice. Namjoon, you know, people notice, right? Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, I know. Namjoon hesitated. Namjoon, does it bother you? Taehyung thought for a moment. Taehyung, it confused me. Namjoon nodded slowly. Namjoon, that was. An email arrived. Taehyung stared at the screen. Namjoon, again? Taehyung stood. Taehyung again. The CEO office was quiet, too quiet. Floor to ceiling, windows showed the city below. The room smelled faintly of coffee and pepper. Jungkook stood by the window, his back turned. Jungkook closed the door. Taehyung did. The sound echoed. Taehyung crossed his arms. Taehyung, if this is about my tie, I'll change my entire wardrobe. Jungkook turned. His expression was unlevel. Jungkook, you talk back more than you used to. Taehyung, time change people. Jungkook stepped closer, slow. Jungkook, do I make you uncomfortable? Taehyung looked up. Taehyung, you make the room uncomfortable. A pause. Jungkook lip twitched. Jungkook, you are doing well. Hair down, I know. Taehyung, Jungkook said properly. Jungkook made his eyes. I earned my place. Jungkook studied him. Jungkook, yes, you did. Silence stretched. Then Jungkook stepped back. Jungkook, you can go now. Taehyung turned to leave. At the door, he stopped. Taehyung, sir? Jungkook, yes. Taehyung, please. Please stop fixing my tie in meetings. Jungkook did not answer right away. Jungkook, I'll try. That was not a promise. That evening, Taehyung stayed late. The office light dimmed as people left. The design floor grew quiet. He walked in silence, headphones off, letting his thought wander. College memory surface, a loud laugh, a teasing voice, someone telling him to stand straight. He shook his head. There was the pause. There was the door open. Jungkook stepped out. He looked surprised to see them still here. Jungkook, why are you still walking, Taehyung? Taehyung, deadlines doesn't fear the dark. Jungkook walked closer. Jungkook, you should go home. Taehyung smiled friendly. Taehyung, you first. Jungkook paused. Jungkook, you are different when no one is watching. Taehyung looked up. Taehyung, so are you? For a moment, neither of them spoke. Outside the city light blinked. Something unspoken settled between them. Not love, not death, just awareness. Taehyung packed his bag as he walked towards the taxi. As he walked towards the exit, Jungkook spoke. Jungkook could not Taehyung. Taehyung stopped it. Jungkook rarely used his name. Taehyung turned. Taehyung could not Jungkook. Jungkook watched him leave. The space he left behind them too quiet. Morning arrived quietly, too quietly. Taehyung noticed it the moment he stepped into the office building. The usual chatter left. Softer, more careful. People smiled, but their eyes lingered a second too long. Conversation paused. When he paused, he pretended not to notice. Notice again. He walked towards the elevator, standing straight. Shoulders relaxed, face calm. Years of practice helped him keep that calm in place, like armor warm under soft fabric. The elevator door opened. Inside stood Lisa. She wore a bright smile and a confident posture, as if the world belonged to her already. Her heels clicked softly as she shifted her breath. Leah, good morning, Taehyung. Taehyung nodded politely. Taehyung morning. The door closed. Silence filled the small space. Lisa glanced at his reflection in the mirror walls. Lisa, big presentation yesterday. Then, it went well. Lisa smiled wider. Lisa, of course it did. Her tone made the word heavier than they should have been. Then look at her. Then, was there something you need? Lisa tilted her head. Lisa, just curious. You and Jungkook seems close. Taehyung felt the familiar tightness in his chest. Taehyung, we walk together. Lisa laughed softly. Lisa, that's the one way to describe it. The letter opened. Taehyung stepped out without another word. The design floor felt safer. Namjoon was already at his desk, coffee in hand, eyes tired. Namjoon, you look like you walked out a rumor strong. Taehyung sat down. Is it that obvious? Namjoon leaned closer. Namjoon, people are talking. Taehyung sighed. Taehyung, the hours too. Namjoon, this time it's louder. Taehyung opened his laptop. Taehyung let them talk. Namjoon hesitated, Namjoon, you you okay? Taehyung paused before answering. "Mm, I don't like feeling like a story instead of a person." Namjoon, yeah, that part never get easier. Across the floor, the glass wall of executive office reflected movement. Jungkook was already inside his office. He stood near his desk, listening as Jimin spoke quite quickly, waving a table. "Jimin, I'm just saying people notice patterns." Jungkook did not look assumed. "Jungkook, people notice nonsense." Jimin raised an eyebrow. "Jimin, you fix his tie in front of the board." Jungkook turned. Jungkook. It was a croak. Jimin, every time silence. Jungkook walked to the window, arm crossed. Jungkook, he is talented. I won't apologize for noticing. Jimin softened his voice. "Jimin, you are the CEO. Everything you do means something." Jungkook did not reply, but his eyes drifted. Emails come and went. Design were finished. Meetings were scheduled and cancelled. Then tried to focus. He really did. But every time someone passed his desk, he felt it, the unspoken question, the curiosity, the quiet judgment. By afternoon, he had a headache. He went to the break room for water. Two employees stood near the counter, speaking in hushed tone. Employee 1, "I heard he meets the CEO alone a lot." Employee 2, "Well, did you see yesterday?" They uh, feel silent when they notice him. Then lifted his glass calmly. "Then, if you have question about my work, you can ask me directly." The employer flushed. Employer 1, "We didn't mean." Then smiled politely. "Then I know." He left. His hand shook just a little. That evening, Jungkook called another meeting, a small one. Taehyung sat across the table from him, files neatly arranged. Jungkook watched him closely. "Jungkook, you've been quiet today." Taehyung did not look up. Taehyung, "I'm working." "Jungkook, that wasn't my question." Taehyung finally made his eyes. Taehyung, "Does everything have to be a question?" Jungkook leaned back. Jungkook, "No, just the important things." Taehyung hesitated. Taehyung, oh, people are talking. Jungkook jaw tightened. Jungkook, "About what?" Taehyung, "You know." Jungkook stood. He walked around the table, stopping a careful distance away. Jungkook, "Do you want me to stop?" Taehyung blinked. Taehyung, "Stop what?" Jungkook, "Calling you in, watching you, fixing your tie." The room felt smaller. Taehyung thought for a moment. Then, "I want people to respect my work." Jungkook nodded. They do." Taehyung, "I want them to respect me." Jungkook's voice softer. Jungkook, "They'll be more careful." Taehyung studied his face. Taehyung, "You don't sound happy about that." Jungkook, "I am not." The next few days were different. Jungkook keep his distance. No standing too close. No question, quiet comments. No hands racing for ties. People noticed that too, and they talked even more. They felt strongly empathy. He hated that. Lisa started appearing more often. She visited the office with loud laughter and confident step. She leaned into Jungkook's space, touched his arms when she spoke. Then saw it all from his days. He told himself it did not matter. It mattered. One afternoon, Lisa stopped by the designing floor. Lisa, Tahang, right? Tahang stood. Tahang, yes. Lisa smiled sweetly. Lisa, I just won. Tahang's smile remained polite. Tahang, hard work does that. Lisa leaned closer. Lisa, so does. Tahang was stay calm. Tahang, if you have concern, you should speak to the board. Lisa laughed softly. Lisa, oh, I will. She walked away. Namjoon stared after her. Namjoon, I don't like her. Tahang is scared. Tahang, you're not supposed to. That night, Tahang stayed late again. The quiet helped him breathe. He was scratching when footsteps approached. Jungkook stopped beside his desk. Jungkook, you should go home. Tahang did not look up. Tahang, you say that every time. Jungkook, because it's always true. Tahang set his pencil down. Tahang, why are you really here? Jungkook hesitated. Jungkook, Lisa spoke to the board. Jungkook chased Tahang. Tahang, about me? Jungkook nodded. Jungkook, she questions your position. Silence stretched. Tahang looked down at his hand. Tahang, I know it would happen. Jungkook stepped closer. Jungkook, I won't let it. Tahang looked up. Tahang, you shouldn't have to protect me. Jungkook voice grew firm. Jungkook, I want to. Tahang stood. Tahang, that's the problem. They faced each other. The space between them changed with unspoken emotion. Tahang, every time you step in, people see me as less. Jungkook eyes softened. Jungkook, I see you as more. Tahang, that doesn't make it easier. Jungkook looked away. Jungkook, I know. The next morning, the board meeting was tense. Tahang sat quietly as the side. Lisa stood confidently. Lisa, I believe personal relationships are influencing professional designing. Tahang clenched his hand before he could speak. Jungkook stood. Jungkook sit down. The room frozen. Jungkook, Tahang work speak for itself. Any calm, otherwise it's unfounded. He looked around. Jungkook, if talent treated you that say more about you than him. Silence followed. Lisa said slowly. Tahang stared at the table, heart pondering. After the meeting, Tahang avoided Jungkook. He needed space. That evening, Jungkook found him in the parking lot. Jungkook, you are angry? Tahang, I'm tired. Jungkook, of me? Tahang hesitated. Tahang, of caring. Jungkook stepped closer, careful. Jungkook, I don't regret defending you. Tahang looked up. Tahang, I don't regret being worth defending. A small smile touched Jungkook's lip. Jungkook, you are. The word hung between them. not a confession, not that. But something close that night. Taehyung lay awake. He thought about ties and boardroom, about I watching him too closely, about a man who stood too near and cared too much. The burn was slow, but it was here, and neither of them could ignore it anymore. The rumors did not stop immediately. They never did, but they changed. They become quieter, less sharp, more uncertain. They noticed it in a small way. People stopped whispering. When he entered a room, emails felt more professional. Meeting returned to being about work, not look as. Still, something inside him felt unsettled because Jungkook was different again, not cold, just careful, too careful. Taehyung sat at his desk late one evening, staring at a design he already. Namjoon, you've been staring at the line for 10 minutes. Taehyung blinked. It might blink fast. Namjoon sighed. Namjoon, you miss him? Taehyung stiffened. I walk with him every day. Namjoon, you miss that version of him? Taehyung leaned back, eyes on the ceiling. Taehyung, I asked him to be careful. Namjoon, and now? Taehyung, now I realize careful feels like distance. Namjoon smiled gently. Namjoon, funny how that works. Across the building, Jungkook stood alone in his office. The city light reflected against the glass. His jacket was off. His tie was loosened, hanging slightly uneven. He noticed it. He did not fix it. Jimin sat on the couch, watching him quietly. Jimin, you are miserable. Jungkook, oh, I'm focused. Jimin, you are staring at the kitchen floor like it owns you answer. Jungkook is scared. Jungkook, I'm trying to respect his boundaries. And you are respecting your feelings. Jungkook didn't answer. Jungkook stood. Jimin, you build your life around control, but love doesn't listen to authorities. Jungkook looked down. Jungkook, I don't want to hurt him. Jimin softened. Jimin, then stop pretending distance is kindness. The next morning, Jungkook called them into his office. The email was simple, subject talk. Taehyung stared at it for a long moment before standing. The office felt familiar now, less, more professional. Jungkook stood by the desk, hand resting lightly on the surface. Jungkook came. Taehyung did silence stretch. Taehyung, if this is about work, Jungkook, it's not. Taehyung breathed. Jungkook walked closer, stopping at a respectful distance. Jungkook, I've been doing what you asked. Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, I know. Jungkook, but it feels wrong. Taehyung looked up. Taehyung, why? Jungkook was slower. Jungkook, because pretending I doesn't care, it's harder than facing rumors. Taehyung swallowed. Taehyung, you can't protect me forever. Jungkook, I don't want to protect you. Jungkook, I want to stand beside you. The words settle slowly. That comes with consequences. Jungkook, I will face worse. Taehyung steadies his face. Taehyung, you don't joke when you say things like that. Jungkook, I never joke about you. Silence again. Then Taehyung stood. Then, don't hide. Jungkook eyes softened. Jungkook, neither should you. They stood there close enough to feel each other breathe, not yet. That evening, Jungkook's mother arrived unannounced as usual. Mrs. Jan walked into the office like she owned it, which in many ways she did. Mrs. Jan, you look tired. Jungkook, I'm fine. Mrs. Jan, that's not an answer. Her eyes drifted to Taehyung, who stood politely near the door. Mrs. Jan stood politely near the door. Mrs. Jan smiled. Mrs. Jan, you lost weight again. Taehyung paused slightly. Taehyung, work has been busy. Mrs. Jan, her tone. Mrs. Jan, he doesn't eat when he is stressed. She turned to Jungkook. Mrs. Jan, you are responsible. Jungkook sighed. Jungkook mother, Mrs. Jan, sit down. Mrs. Jan, both of you, they did. Mrs. Jan looked between them. Mrs. Jan, are you two planning to confuse me forever? Taehyung blinked. Huh? Taehyung, ma'am. Mrs. Jan smiled calmly. Mrs. Jan, arise, my son. I know when he is serious. Jungkook, we being careful. Mrs. Jan, careful wasn't time. She turned to Taehyung. Mrs. Jan, do you like him? Taehyung frozen. His honestly answered before his mouth did. Mrs. Jan nodded. Mrs. Jan, good, I like you. Jungkook looked straight. Jungkook, mom. Mrs. Jan, you should marry someone who look at you like that. Taehyung ear turned red. Mrs. Jan stood. Mrs. Jan, dinner? This weekend, no excuse. She left. The room felt very quiet. Taehyung, your mother is terrifying. Jungkook smiled softly. She is affecting. That weekend, Taehyung went to dinner. He wore a simple sweater. His tie stayed home. Mrs. Jan watched everything. Her silence between them felt comfortable, not awkward. After dinner, Mrs. Jan spoke politely. Mrs. Jan, life is short. Choose someone who feels like home. She looked at Taehyung. Mrs. Jan, you already are. The turning point came quietly. One evening, Taehyung finished work early. He stood outside Jungkook's office, hesitating. Then he knocked. Jungkook looked up. Jungkook came in. Taehyung stepped inside and closed the door. Taehyung, I don't want distance anymore. Jungkook stood slowly. Jungkook, neither do I. Taehyung stepped. Taehyung breathed. Taehyung then chose me properly. Jungkook lifted his hand, stopping just short of. Jungkook, may I? Taehyung nodded. Jungkook curved his face gently, was slow, full of promise. When they pulled back, Taehyung rested his forehead against Jungkook. Taehyung, you are still bad at being stable. Jungkook smiled. Jungkook, I am learning. The announcement was simple, professional, clear, no apology. Jungkook stood before the board. Jungkook, Taehyung, and I are together. Our work remains separate. Our standard remains high, he looked around. Jungkook, respect that. Reconsider your position. No argue. Month passed. Quiet happiness settled in. Jungkook stopped fixing Taehyung's tie in meeting, but at home he did it slowly, carefully. Taehyung teased him for it. Taehyung, you just like having an excuse, Jungkook. I like taking care of what mine. Taehyung smiled. The proposal happened on an ordinary night. No crowd, no camera. Jungkook Keener in the living room, nervous for the first time in his life. Jungkook, I'm not good at gentle beginning. Taehyung laughed softly, but I'll spend my life learning. He held out the ring. Jungkook, will you marry me, Taehyung? Taehyung eyes filled. Taehyung, yes. The wedding was small, warm, full of laughter. Namjoon cried openly. Jimin made joke. Mrs. Jihan smiled proudly. When Jungkook fixed Taehyung's tie before the ceremony, Taehyung led him. Taehyung nervous, Jungkook. Taehyung good. It means you care softly and work forward together. Did not belong to rumor, they belonged to each other and everyone could see it.